You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Shari Einhorn. Only in Newsday, sources say the former state trooper accused of shooting himself on the Southern State Parkway is expected to plead guilty. 27-year-old Thomas Messia claimed he was wounded by a man on the parkway. The West Hempstead resident is charged with filing a false report, official misconduct, and tampering with evidence. He's due in court next month. A man has been sentenced to up to 13.5 years in prison for a crash that killed 3 people on the Southern State. Here's video from the scene in 2022. Matthew White pleaded guilty to aggravated vehicular homicide and manslaughter charges. Prosecutors say the 29-year-old was high and going more than 90 miles an hour at the time of the crash. The Trump administration mistakenly released a document that shows its lawyers don't think their legal challenge to congestion pricing will be successful. The letter between federal lawyers admits a judge is unlikely to accept their argument. They claim the MTA's plan was improperly authorized by the previous administration. The MTA has refused to stop the tolling unless the court orders it. An air quality warning is in effect for Long Island from the New Jersey wildfires. The state says the air quality could be harmful for people with asthma, heart conditions, infants, and the elderly. The New Jersey Forest Fire Service says the fire is 50% contained. Here's a look at your air quality report. There's a new lawsuit between the people who run the Happy Cat Sanctuary and the late founder's daughter. Andrew Anger has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Hi, Billy.
They're the faces of tragedy. More than 175 cats that once called the Happy Cat Sanctuary in Medford home, now scared and afraid after their facility burned down last month. In that fire, more than 150 cats died, in addition to its founder, 65-year-old Christopher Arsenault. Now some say these cats are victims again because of a battle over control of the sanctuary property.
Unfortunately, this does not help the cause, does not help the dream, does not help the cats.
Lisa Jager is a board member with the nonprofit Happy Cats, Inc. that she says helped run the sanctuary. Lisa says the fight with Christopher's surviving daughter, Kristen Arsenault, is hampering what she says was her friend Christopher's dream, to rescue stray and sick cats that few people wanted.
We're having a little bit of a problem right now accessing our Facebook account, our Yahoo email account, our Instagram account.
But most importantly, Lisa says, the sanctuary's finances and a surviving small cat sanctuary upstate are tied up in a trust battle with Kristen Arsenault. Happy Cat Inc. is now suing her for access. Newsday reached out to Arsenault but did not hear back. However, she had previously questioned the legitimacy of some people in the group, posting on social media saying, "Let me be clear, this is not about personal control or ego. It is about ensuring the sanctuary my father built and ultimately gave his life for is not dismantled by opportunism or mismanagement."
Christopher's friends and colleagues tell me they never imagined all this tension could happen. But they hope now, from the ashes of this tragedy, both sides can come together for the well-being of the animals.
Please, we're willing to sit down at a table and figure this out so we can pull all of this together, work together, get all the cats together, build a sanctuary, whether it's upstate or down here. But let's do what's best for the cats. I mean, this is what we're here for.
In Medford, Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.
Long Island home prices are once again reaching record highs. Newsday business reporter Jonathan LaMantia has more on the local housing market.
A new report from brokerage Douglas Elliman and the appraisal firm Miller Samuel shows a record high $705,000 was the median price for Long Island homes. That excludes the East End, so the Hamptons and the North Fork markets. The real estate agents and economists that study the real estate market that I talked to said because Long Island has had a shortage of inventory for so long, and it's a pretty deep shortage, that they don't anticipate things changing, enough sellers putting their houses on the market this spring to really change that balance and shift far enough away from a seller's market. It doesn't help that mortgage rates really haven't fallen very much. They've been above 6% on average for a 30-year mortgage since about September 2022. There's still a lot of competition out there for Long Island, excluding the East End. 1 out of every 2 homes sold for above the asking price. So a lot of folks are making their offers, above that list price that, you might see the homes advertised at.
Only in Newsday, new concerns about potentially dangerous chemicals that are becoming increasingly difficult to get out of our drinking water. Virginia Huey has the story.
More than a dozen Long Island water suppliers have detected unregulated forever chemicals, according to a Newsday analysis of the latest federal database of testing results.
36 Long Island water districts supplied the data so far, and we're seeing that 19 of them have some readings of this unregulated or short-chain PFAS in the data.
PFAS can be found in a wide range of products, including shampoo, dental floss, and household cleaners. Studies on the health effects of short-chain PFAS are still ongoing, but scientists have found exposure to related long-chain PFAS can be harmful.
It can affect your cholesterol levels. It can affect your liver function. It can lead to kidney and testicular cancer.
Studies have shown short-chain PFAS are more difficult to remove from water than long-chain PFAS, which poses a new challenge for the island's water suppliers.
These newer short-chain PFAS are not regulated by the EPA, and they're not regulated by the state of New York either. And so they're not required to get rid of them, but the water suppliers realize that down the line they may be regulated and they may have to comply with a certain standard. So they're trying to get ahead of the game.
The Bethpage Water District uses a granular activated carbon system to filter long-chain PFAS to non-detectable levels. The district is trying new methods to remove the more stubborn short-chain contaminant.
One thing that they're trying is just replacing the carbon more frequently, and that seems to do a better job of filtering out the short chains.
Sarah Malin of the New York State Drinking Water Quality Council says another filtering method is being tested as well.
The one that probably is going to get the most attention is reverse osmosis, which is where you force water through a membrane that selectively allows the water to pass through, but it holds back the chemical pollutant.
Newsday has compiled a list of testing results from the federal database. To see the results for your water district, log on to newsday.com and click on the story link. For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Sarah Sounds Off is brought to you by Roll Up Awnings.
In high school sports, this week, Sarah sounds off with All Long Island flag football QB Olivia Moynihan from Sayville.
How much fun has it been playing flag football?
It's been really fun. Starting off our first year, there was about 50 girls at tryouts, which is pretty crazy. And now this year we have a varsity team, and it's pretty much the same. We're all super close, learning together.
You can watch this week's episode with Newsday High School sports editor Greg Sarah, streaming now on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
It's cherry blossom season. I'm Elisa DiStefano. Come with me to see the most beautiful blooms. There are plenty of pink petals at Planting Fields Arboretum in Oyster Bay.
We certainly have one of the largest collections of cherries on Long Island. It's sort of the first signs of spring, and there are different species that bloom different times of the spring, so there's a nice progression usually. And certainly at Planting Fields we have a nice collection of cherries. I would say we probably have about 10 or 12 species and probably about 30 or 40 varieties. So this is called the Yoshino cherry, and this would be starting off light pink and then eventually becoming white. This is called the Weeping Hegon cherry. This is a very popular cherry.
Yeah, I feel like this is the cherry. When you think of cherry blossoms, this is that.
And this is a very special cherry. This was developed, I believe, at the National Arboretum in Washington, D.C. And it's a hybrid that has these very deep, almost wine-colored flowers.
You could walk through the whimsical trees and just take in the beauty of the blooms, or watch them wave whimsically in the breeze. You can see more cherry blossoms at the Charles B. Wong Center at Stony Brook University. The Sakura Matsuri Cherry Blossom Festival is a celebration of Japanese culture on Sunday, April 27th. And the Greenport Cherry Blossom Festival is ongoing through June. Take a self-guided walking tour to see the cherries and explore the charming village. Indulge in blossom themes at local restaurants and shops. Here at Planting Field, you can visit the blossoms any day of the week and join in the fun of the Arbor Day Festival, April 26th and 27th.
This will be our 39th annual Arbor Day Festival, which is really the celebration of trees. So Planting Fields every year we have tree planting ceremonies, we have activities for children, we have entertainment, and we really sort of bring to light why trees are so important.
The cherry blossoms will be in bloom here at Planting Fields. We're still waiting for this one through early May, Mother Nature permitting.
Here's what's up on Long Island. Yo-Yo Ma is coming to Brookville. Join the cellist for an afternoon of conversation and music. That's Sunday at the Tillis Center. See the Long Island Ducks host the Lancaster Stormers in Central Islip for a full weekend of baseball. They'll hold a t-shirt giveaway, a family catch, and a fireworks display. There's an Arbor Day festival. Activities include a tree seedling giveaway, meeting Smokey the Bear and planting trees. It is Saturday and Sunday at Planting Fields State Historic Park in Oyster Bay. Now let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast. We've got another nice day tomorrow, but we've got rain and wind for the weekend. Then, luckily, it looks like a nice sunny next week.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
You're watching Newsday TV. It's now easier than ever to watch Newsday TV on your TV. We are officially streaming on Local Now. You can also find us on YouTube and all the other streaming services seen here. I'm Shari Einhorn. Thanks for joining us.